2, 1.
Hello there, Victor. How are you doing today?
Hi, pretty good.
All right, my name's Derek. I'm the general manager here at Wild Toyota. I see you applied for the sales manager position here.
I did, yeah.
I actually saw you listening to some music out there. What were you listening to?
I was listening to some Dave Matthews Band. You guys had some music playing along. I'm a huge fan.
I knew I told my managers to put out the good music. I love Dave Matthews too. Can't go wrong with it.
Yeah, no, I'm a huge fan. I'm going to their concert actually this summer.
Really? So am I.
Oh, you are?
So am I, yeah. I'm going with a couple of my coworkers, a couple of the execs and all that stuff. So
okay.
Yeah, but it's going to be a blast. Can't go wrong with the Dave Matthews Band concert, right?
No, I love it.
Gotta love it, gotta love it. Like I said, you applied for your sales manager position here at Wild Toyota. We're looking for someone who has experience with new and used vehicles. So they have to have experience with both types of those, the newer models, the older models, also models from other companies as well, because we do sell used models from other companies as well.
Okay.
You actually have to have a lot of experience, which I saw you do on your resume, especially in the sales field, which is good for you. You also have to be really, really, really extremely outgoing, and that shouldn't be a problem with you as well as your previous experience. So, not going to take up too much of your time. Do you have any questions on anything before we start?
First off, again, I'd just like to thank you for inviting me in today. Actually, Jim Palo, the new vehicle manager at Boucher Nissan, recommended that I come in. He mentioned your name. I'm very excited at the opportunity. I know that your dealership is the #1 dealership in Wisconsin and has been for the last 2 decades. So, you know, working for your company would be quite an honor, and I'm really looking forward to the opportunity.
Definitely, Jim's a good friend of mine, so anytime you suggest anybody to come in, it's usually a good thing. So
good.
Definitely. All right, so we'll go ahead and get started then. What kind of experience do you have working with Toyota vehicles specifically? I know that you had worked for Nissan before, right, so you're familiar with those, but specifically with Toyota?
I have a lot of experience working with Toyota, actually. I've worked with their full line, all of their sedans, and all of their larger vehicles. Toyota is very, very similar to Nissan, and obviously I was required to know the Nissan product, but just kind of as a secondary thing, I eventually learned the Toyota product as well, whether it was customers trading in their vehicles or us purchasing cars at auction. Encountering a used Toyota vehicle or even a new vehicle was a daily occurrence for me.
Yeah, definitely. I know working in the auto industry, it tends to have a lot of negative connotations with it.
Yeah.
Can you remember a time specifically where you helped someone and they were just very shocked by it, very excited about it in a happier kind of way?
Yeah, absolutely. I had one customer that had a very bad idea of what the car business was like. She kind of came in with this idea that all car salespeople are crooks, and some of them are, but
we won't mention anything behind that. No, they'll stay in this room.
But basically she just came in with a specific attitude and a preconception of what she was going to experience here at the dealership. And I eventually, I exceeded her expectations. I went above and beyond. I actually ended up delivering her vehicle. I delivered it in person to her house. She lives out in Oconomowoc, so I took a 40-minute drive out there and drove it right to her house, then blew her socks off.
Definitely is the way to do it. Customer relations is the #1 thing in the auto industry, and I'm sure you're aware of that.
Yes.
The crook thing, it tends to be a thing that everyone kind of sees with us.
Yeah.
It's never like that, but you get that in every industry. So
yeah.
Not a big deal. Have you ever had to follow a policy or do something you didn't agree with when you were with Nissan?
Yeah, I have. I think all of us have at some point in our jobs done something or been asked to do something that we didn't really want to do. One policy that the Nissan dealership had, which I wasn't too fond of, was their meeting policy. Okay. Most car dealerships, like for example, I know you guys only host one sales meeting a week on Saturday, and that's what I had been used to before my experience with Nissan. With Nissan, they have a meeting every single day, and I felt that it wasn't a productive use of time. I felt that we kind of went over the same material in every single meeting every day. It didn't really set a good tone for the day. It didn't pump people up. And I think if you do something too repetitively, it kind of loses its effect a little bit. And people, eventually just kind of got very disillusioned with the meetings, me myself included.
You said they made you do it every day?
Every single day, yeah. It was a little much, but yeah.
I would never be able to prepare a meeting every day. Do not worry, you'll have it once a week here.
That's good.
We won't put you through that.
Okay.
Not a problem.
That's good.
Alrighty. When dealing with customer bad news, we tend to get that a lot more than we have the good news, the sales in the sales department here.
Okay.
How would you deal with someone who had to deliver bad news, possibly about like a recall or something like that?
Okay. Well, like you said, it's something that happens, every day. There's good news, there's bad news. The good comes with the bad. It's how you approach your customers and how you deliver it to a customer that makes all the difference.
Yes.
When I need to deliver bad news, I always open with a positive, to kind of soften the blow of whatever I'm going to tell a customer. I try to get the customer to understand our side of the story, why something may be a certain way, and just basically try to empathize with the customer, make sure that they leave happy no matter what, even if there is bad news that I need to deliver.
Yeah, exactly. And then if you come about it in the right way, it usually ends up being okay in the end.
Absolutely. As long as you explain it to the customer, usually people understand that and they appreciate that you took the time to explain it.
Exactly. It's all about the communication, especially like a face-to-face over a phone call. People really appreciate that. So.
That's what I think, yeah.
Exactly. Definitely. In your last job with Nissan, were you doing any sort of training when you were an employer there? Were you above anybody, helping people out as far as like interning, anything like that?
I was. I started out as just a sales consultant working for the Boucher Group, actually with their Saturn division, and I eventually got promoted. I moved over to Nissan, and I eventually became actually one of the internet sales managers for a while until I went back to school. And when I was in that role, I managed a team of actually three other sales consultants, and I took all the incoming phone calls and emails to the store and basically divided out those potential prospects or leads to my staff, and then it was my responsibility to follow up with each salesperson and make sure that they were doing their job the right way. So leading a team, being a leader, even though I guess I don't necessarily go out of my way to be one. I feel that people just sort of, maybe they just sense that in me, that I am always trying to do the right thing. I'm always trying to lead by example.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. You said that was for an internet sales management position?
Correct.
Okay, yeah, definitely. We actually are looking for some people like that as well. We're starting to transfer over into more of the online-based sales stuff now, so that'll be a big plus for us as well. Lastly, could you go over how you set your work priorities for day? How do you set up your office or your time with customers and all that stuff?
Sure. Every day is different, and sometimes you just simply don't have enough time in the day to do everything that you want to do. I found that the best way to kind of get everything done that you need to get done is I try to come into work actually a little bit early every day. I try to get to work about 20 to 30 minutes early. That way I'm not rushed, right when the day starts, when I have customers walking in the door. I can kind of begin to kind of unwind a little bit, kind of get in the groove of things. I typically, write out a daily agenda, so I have it on my desk planner. I know who I'm going to be meeting with, and I know all of the appointments that I have for the rest of the day. In a management position, I would obviously be responsible for making sure that all of the sales consultants have their meetings in order as well.
Okay.
So basically, the key is planning and setting up the day, and then if you get a wrench thrown your way in the middle of the day, it's basically being able to have the courage to ask for help from somebody else and just adapting and rolling with the change.
Yeah, you can never have enough time for a car salesman. You
No.
never have enough time. You're always running.
Definitely. When the customer's in front of you, all my focus is on that customer, and sometimes I get distracted from other things that I'm doing, administrative, just paperwork things.
Exactly. Yeah, definitely. When I was in a sales manager position as well, I understand exactly how that went.
You do? Okay, good.
Ended up feeling behind, and then all of a sudden you had to rush to get everything done, but in the end it all worked out. So.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's the last of the questions I have for you. Once again, thanks for coming out. Like I said, we have another week of interviews we'll be doing, so it'll probably be about a week and a half until we get back to you.
Okay.
We will be calling you, whether we hire you or not. We'll just let you know through that way.
Okay.
And we'll get in contact you with that. We have your phone number on file, so expect calls from us within the week.
Okay, very good.
Yep.
Hey, again, I really appreciate you having me come in today. I'm very excited at the opportunity to work with your company. Like I said, Jim said that he knew you. He personally recommended working for your dealership. I've had a good experience with Nissan, but I'm looking to kind of push my career into that next level, and you guys being the #1 dealership in the state, assures me that I will obviously have my hands full and be challenged every day working with you guys.
And you're definitely well qualified for the job, so that shouldn't be a problem whatsoever.
I appreciate it. I have been doing this for a while now. I have about 4 or 5 years experience, so I feel that my communication skills and my computer skills are up to par with what they should be.
All right, thank you very much.
Hey, no problem.
Go ahead.
Thank you so much.
Take care.